When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Have you ever heard that song? That is such a beautiful song, right? It was written by the team of Jay Livingston and Ray Evans back in 1955. It received an award for the Best Original Song in 1956. So, if you were born that year, I'm sure you know about the song. It was very famous back in the day. Of course, I wasn't born yet, but my mom knows it and she told me about it. And now I love that song. That song that I just sung is about a child who is worried about her future. The mother, who was asked by her daughter, replied that neither she nor the child could predict the future. I will not talk a lot about the song, though I feel like the song really represents how I feel right now, as a teenager trying to find my true identity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tabipun. Hi everyone, I'm Delisha Saabira Yasni. I'm a 6th grader at Darma Bangsa School, Bandar Lampung. Right now, I'm 11 years old. Soon, I'll be 12 this year. Isn't that exciting? And I think I will enter a stage in life that is said to be very confusing, just like the girl in the song. Though I feel like this stage is going to be very fun. What's your identity? What is your personality like? What do you do when you face a problem? What do you want to be in the future? These questions usually arise when someone is finding for their true identity. Everyone must have been in this phase, right? Especially when they're in the preteen and teenage phase. And that's what I feel now. In today's digital era, technological developments have been rapidly advancing. Without realizing it, it has brought many negative and positive impacts to the world. This phenomenon really is a challenge to the younger generation, such as myself. The main challenges of being a teenager is to not get carried away and become a victim of the negative side of the technological process. That is why it is really important for a teenager to have an identity. According to United Nations Children Fund, or UNICEF data, there are roughly 1.3 billion adolescents in the world today. And that is 16% of the world's population, which means that there are many teenagers going through the adolescent phase, just like me. Now, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever felt confused about yourself? Maybe you were sad and then mad all of a sudden. Or you suddenly feel insecure about yourself, not confident, easily upset, and want to always fit in with the crowd? Well, don't worry, because I feel the same too. And I'm sure you felt this way, haven't you? My parents gave me an explanation that this is very normal in the teenage phase. And now I feel better, because before I thought I was acting weird because I see my friends and they all look okay. But if you feel this way, don't worry, because I feel the same. And I'm sure there's a lot of other teenagers going to the adolescent phase like us and feel the same way. When a teenager enters the self-discovery phase, they will start to wonder about everything in their life. Therefore, it is no surprise that teenagers will experience confusion, moodiness, and sensitivity. Their mood swings often fluctuate. Sometimes they can be happy and cheerful, but other times they can be aloof and introverted. Although it is said that mood swings are very normal in the adolescent phase, sometimes it can make life way more harder for teens, including me. Here's a personal story of mine about my experience with my mood swings at school. So one day, I was just sitting in class, learning about math. So I opened my book and I started writing stuff. But then I heard my best friend and my other friend talking from afar. Curious, I went up to them and I asked, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" But then they just acted like nothing happened at all. Isn't that annoying? "Oh, hi, it's nothing, it's not important. Yeah, we were just talking randomly, yeah." That's what they told me. My happy energy on that day suddenly just disappeared, and I became frustrated and I felt left out. After that incident, I started acting weird. I acted quite mean to them. And that led us to having some problems. But don't worry, we sorted things out. But at that moment, I just thought to myself on how it was so hard having to deal with mood swings all the time and how it can affect the world around us. The easiest thing we can do when we experience mood swing is just to apologize and explain to that person, and everything will be in peace. In addition, in terms of the search for self-identity, teenagers will idolize many people and they will try to act like those people. We all must have an idol, right? It could be a famous actor or a famous singer, maybe even a K-pop idol, or it could just be our mom and dad. Teenagers tend to idolize popular figures, and then they want to try to be like them. I still remember clearly, when I was in kindergarten, I admired Dian Pelangi so much. If you don't know her, she is an Indonesian designer. I wanted to become a designer just like her. The idea of making clothes that people may wear in the future was astonishing to me. Every day, when I was in the mood of making an outfit, I would ask my mom to pin out some model poses for me to add clothes on. For example, here are my creations. This is one of them. Was very random, but I actually really like it. This one was inspired by a balloon. You can see it on the headband. This one, I even forgot about this one. This one when I was still obsessed with ballerinas. This one was one of my newer ones, but I really enjoyed making this, and this is actually one of my faves. Ooh, I forgot that I made this one. This is also one of my faves. I saw a tiger on television and I wanted to make an outfit inspired by it. And this is the last one. This is one of my older creations, but I still really like it. But then, as time goes on, my dream to become a designer slowly fade away. I found a new passion, which is to become a writer, just like Jeff Kinney. If you don't know who he is an American writer. He made a lot of stories, but his most popular book series is The Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's actually pretty famous, and it's also my favorite book series. Even though writing was just a hobby, I really enjoyed it, and I've always had this deep connection with it. I've made a lot of stories since I was in first grade, and here are my top 3. The Diamond Dinosaur, The Magical Rubber Band, and my number 1 favorite, The Secret Door of Halloween. This writing hobby of mine really did pay off because look at this. Ta-da! I actually have 4 books, but these are 2 of my examples. If you look at this one and go to page 154, you can see my story right here. And it says my name at the bottom, Delisha Saabira Yasni. If you want to find these books are published in the UK. I really thought the writer's path was for me. But now that I'm 11, I actually don't know what I want. There are a lot of fun and interesting things to do in the world, and I can't just pick one. I've grown so much from when I was a child, and I bet my childhood friends don't even recognize me anymore. But I don't blame them. I do look, act, and talk differently from when I was a child. But how is that? Well, what I read, what I see, and what I hear can all affect the formation of who I am as a person. And because I like to be fickle, I sometimes feel fickle too. But that's just part of the journey. The journey to find that identity isn't easy and fast. It takes time and patience to get that ideal identity of yours. It's all about trial and error. And what I mean by that is, life is full of surprises, both positive and negative. We're still young, so let's just enjoy life to the fullest and look at this adolescent phase as just a funny experience. To be honest, I'm still looking for my true self-identity. I hope one day I can find it, and that identity of mine will make my parents, teachers, and friends proud of me. My advice for preteens and teenagers is to never feel alone, because you're never alone. Somebody out there is experiencing what you're experiencing right now. Therefore, we should just enjoy this phase. Do something positive, speak about your feelings with a trusted person, explore and continue to grow your potential, try to understand yourself, and keep trying. Because, remember, whatever you believe, you can achieve. And that's my story on how I'm trying to find my true self-identity. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Delisha. Thank you very much.